Okay, today we're going to reinstall the carrier on this 50 horse, and of course we've got the new used prop shaft we're going to reinstall, and that's should be much straighter than the old one. As you saw, the old one was very bent. Kind of hard to tell now, but looking at it, I mean, if you spin it, it was just going all over the place. So this thing was very bent. But anyway, I've got the new one, and what I end up doing is I put this in a vise. I meant to clamp onto the base, and I ended up clamping onto this washer, and I broke it. So I had to remove the bearing and the gear, pull that off, and then and of course reassemble it with the new thrust washer. And we've put our new our shims in, not new, but we've reinstalled the shims too. So this all had to come apart in order to get that thrust bearing back into position. And we've got our new seals in, so those are all glued in, and they've been glued for quite some time now, a few days. So that glue should be all set up. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of carb cleaner and clean this surface, because this is the surface. So I'm going to put a little bit of aviation cleaner or aviation sealer on the Permatex, so that it helps this not only seal it, but it might act as an anti-seize, so that it's easily removed again later on. I'm going to actually put some around this surface as well. If this has to come out again, at least it'll come out easy. In fact, it came out very easy, almost too easy when I removed it originally. Maybe that was because it sustained some impact and loosened everything up when the prop shaft got bent. So, a little concerned about these areas here. Had a little hairline crack inside, but this aviation sealer works very well, and with the new prop shaft being straight, I think the integrity here is still good, and I think it'll keep the water out. So I think he's okay. It's a little beat up, but it's not too bad. I think it'll work just fine. Well, we'll pressure test it once it's all back together, and see how that works. This aviation sealer is a substitute for Perfect Seal, which is Perfect Seal, I believe, is a Mercury product, and for this type of application. And this again is Permatex Aviator Formagasket number 3, I believe is what they call it. Okay, so we're ready to install. I'll bring it back over here. I'll set that there for a moment. See if I'm lined up. Okay, not too horrible. Gotta grab the lower unit. I want to make sure, okay, my vent is there and my drain is there. You can see what's happening here. I'm going to move you a little bit. Okay. So hopefully you can see what's going on there. I don't know if you can see those gears moving in there when I turn it. You can see the pinion gear and the forward gear. You might be able to see that. So I haven't changed anything there at all. I'm just going to reinsert this into position. First I need to put the prop shaft in. If this pin falls out, if that pin falls out, make sure that that point is sticking up. If you put it in the opposite direction, you will not shift it into first gear or forward gear, I'm saying. So that's critical. That's got to be in that orientation, otherwise it's not going to work. Maybe some of this 2,4-C lube. I think that'll do the job. Some on the slip of the seal here, on both seals. Okay, that went over pretty well. Let me see. The other thing too, I've got to have that little retainer pin in there too. So where is that at? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I got to turn it just a little bit. Where's my light? Oh, and a little too far. Perfect. Now this is like a Woodruff key. And in the beginning of the other chapter, I told everybody, don't lose that. Well, I did. I lost it and I had to buy one. So, and here it is. Very tiny. It's just a little Woodruff key that slips in that channel. Kind of locks it in place. There it went. Okay, it's in place. Now this goes in like this. Yeah, let's see, make sure. Yeah, gotta have the nubs on the outside. See, the nubs are closer to the outside of the ring. So you need to put that on like that so that this has the reach to get in there and screw that in properly. There, okay. Now, let's try that. Okay, it is spinning. Okay. Just enough to get it past that other tab. Just a little more. Just a little more. Well, okay. That should do it. I'll take this tab here. There we go. Okay. Make sure that's down in position. Yeah, it should be good. Give it a couple more hits. Yeah, that ain't going anywhere. Okay, good. Whew, all right. Now, again, forward. One more time, just double check. Make sure this thing is going to shift where we want it to. Okay, that's forward. And that's reverse. Okay. And if we go a little further, we should hit neutral. There, neutral. Okay, good. All right, but I think when he puts this back together, it's got to be in forward gear. So, That's where it's going, forward gear. I'm not going to reassemble this, the owner is, so. That was real tight. Now, there's my washer. I see one, I think, in there. Yeah, there's a washer in there. I don't know how good it is. If it seals with it, then we're good to go. Pretty sure that kit he gave me came with those. I'll have to look. Unless I think he took that kit back. Might have had those little seals in there with it. So, but we'll see. I might have extras. Okay. So let's see what we got. Let me see if you're in the picture. Hopefully you can see where I'm going with this. All right, we're at 10 pounds of pressure, 11 pounds of pressure. And I'm exercising the drive shaft, and it's not leaking. So we'll go up to 15. There's 15. All right, I got a little bit of a leak. It's dropping from 15, it's dropping down. So it could be these seals here. I'll spray some soapy water and see what we find out. I don't see any bubbling on the prop shaft. I don't see any real bubbling going on here either. Might be up here on the pump. I don't see anything. Maybe the shift shaft. That could be. And that's the only thing I didn't touch is the shift shaft. Maybe it's here. I see it. You see it, folks? It is. It's the shift shaft. Shift shaft's got these big bubbles coming out. So there's an O-ring in there. So he's still got a leak, and it's nothing that I did here. It's just that it's not my work. It's the shift shaft, and unfortunately, I don't have a shift shaft seal for this. This is going to delay him a little longer if he wants me to seal that up. I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me get you back up here. Let me spray this. You can see the shift shaft seal actually is under that. Is under this here. See if I can dislodge this. No. Being stubborn for some reason. Anyway, I think you can see it without removing it. You can see the bubbles bubbling up there. Yeah. All right, let me get that off of there. I'll get you back up. I'll get you back up there taking a look at it. Okay. Yeah, you can see it. Just the bubbling away. He's losing pressure right there, so that bushing's got to come off of there. And it just takes another O-ring under that. Well, so we're not done. We still have work to do. Yeah, we're losing, it's down to 7 pounds now, so it's slowly leaking. And that's exactly the problem right here. So maybe I've got an O-ring. Maybe I can take that apart and take a look at it. I'm going to relieve the pressure. See if I can get this off of here. You can do those other chain locks. It's got a bushing that's got tabs on it, and you got it unthreaded. It's got slots on each side, so there's probably a special tool for this that I don't have. I'm going to put this on and see what I'm doing. Well, I figured this would be done today, because I guess I shouldn't assume that everything is good and correct. Usually these shift shaft seals, you know, they can be good or bad. So anything else. All right, so rubber washer. Okay, rubber washer, and then this bushing on threads. Let me see if I can get this out of here. Might be frozen in there too. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know. Maybe try some needle nose pliers. Oh God, somebody's got that in there tight. Oh, yeah. Shoot. Wow, that is in there. She's not budging either. Holy moly. Yeah, I think it loosened up. I think. Yeah, wow. Yeah, it's moving. Well, probably, maybe it was leaking before on somebody and they just tried to tighten it down enough to where it slowed the leak down, but boy. Put some sealer on it and thread it in. Don't tighten it down to where you can't never get it out again. Wow. Now, okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, so this bushing, let me show you. This is the bushing. It's got two slots, one on each side, and it was in there pretty tight. It's also got two seals on the inside of it. They're little rubber O-rings. Now you can buy the O-rings, I believe, and just put new ones in, or buy the whole bushing. But well, we would have had this all ready today, but okay, yeah, it's right there. That's the O-ring, and it's just worn out. It's flattened out. It needs replaced. So let's see if I can dig it out of there. I want to see what it looks like. Maybe I've got one in my stock, but I doubt it. Yeah, this thing's had it. All right. There's an exterior O-ring on this as well. I'm digging out the inner shaft O-ring. Here and here, but there's also an outer O-ring that could be leaking as well. So there's the problem. There's one on top coming around the top here, and there's one down below it, and then this one too. So, and if you buy the whole bushing, which it isn't that expensive, it might be $15 or something, but you can get the whole bushing with the seals already put in them. You can see I'm grabbing that out of there. There's one. Have more, the seals or the new bushing to put in there. Those seals are shot in that shift shaft, and that's what's causing the leaks. So anyway, stand by, and we'll come back to it when the parts come in. So I got to contact the owner and let him know what's wrong now. So all right, thanks for watching. Okay, what I've got here is a dial indicator, and I've got it positioned on the prop shaft. Let me get some better lighting on this if I can. Maybe you can see it better now. You can see where it's positioned. Now I'm going to spin the drive shaft. And as I spin it, you'll see the variance. I'm turning, you can see that the prop shaft is turning. And we're off, you know, let's see its highest setting from 0. I think it was 3,000 so far. Back to 0. One, two, 3,000s, 4,000s, 4,000s, back to 0. Mm, 3,000s, back to 0. I think we've made a complete revolution here. Yeah, it went to about 4,000ths of an inch. And I think that's fine. I think it's, you know, up to 5,000ths, even more, is probably spec, but I'd have to look it up. But I think this is actually very good. This prop shaft is straight, and it's within, I would say, normal ranges. So we shouldn't have any vibration or any problems with this prop shaft at all. So, all right, I just wanted to show that to you. Okay, folks, I got the new bushing in. I apologize, I lost video. I apologize, I thought I hit the record button and I didn't, but I just replaced the bushing. I put it in at first, and I noticed the new one did not have this O-ring, but I had it installed and I did a pressure test. I saw bubbles coming out. I pulled it back out and realized there was no O-ring on the new one. There should have been, because it came with the seals inside. It should have had the O-ring as well. It didn't. So I pulled an O-ring out of my stock just to show you what I have here. I bought this, I believe, at Napa, or maybe it was Pep Boys, whatever. But it's a pretty extensive O-ring set, and it was this one here that I replaced it with. So worked out. That's where we're at right now. So this bushing just threads in. I just used a pair of needle nose pliers to, get into the notch and turn it like that. Just, clockwise, and it seats in there. I even put a little bit of Permatex aviation form a gasket sealer on the threads just in case, and I lubricated the O-ring with some T4C grease, which is recommended by Quicksilver or Mercury. So anyway, reseated it, and now I've got it pumped up to 15 pounds. It's been like that probably now for about 10 minutes. I'm going to give it about a half an hour or so and see what happens. But 15 pounds in this steady, it's stable. I don't see any bubbles coming out anywhere around the pump. There's nothing by the shaft. So, if I exercise the shaft, you can see maybe you can see that I'm exercising. It's going in a reverse direction. It looks like, yeah, reverse direction. And as I do that, I just hit the button. All right, I hit the relief button, but let me get it back up to 15, about 16 pounds now. So, and it didn't budge. So as I exercise this, if there's a problem, you would start to see it leaking down. So, and I don't see any issue here. So this is good. Bearings all feel real nice and tight. So I guess I'll come back in another hour or so and take a look at that and make sure we don't have any issues. Yeah, there's no real loose backlash in that at all. So that's a nice tight fit. I used the original materials. I didn't add anything to it other than the new thrust washer. The shims were all the same, so I shouldn't have to adjust any backlash on that at all. It's in good shape. So, all right, we'll be back in about half an hour, maybe an hour, about an hour. Okay, it's been an hour, and of course, not even a 1 pound drop. So I think we're good to go. I'm going to do a vacuum check and do the same thing, see what happens. So just turn the knob, and we'll get 15 pounds of mercury. There we go. 15 pounds of mercury, and we'll see what our vacuum test shows us. If all comes out well, we're good to go. So I'll come back again about an hour, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Yep, we're still holding 15 pounds. But I just wanted to mention, when I put this all back together and I pump new oil into it, which will be this Lucas 8090 weight, heavy duty performance, also meant for marine outboards. It's I think it's the GL5 that is the specification for the outboards. But that's what I'm using, and it should do a good job. I also have two new washers for the where is the other one? Here it is. I got two new washers for the plugs, for the drain plugs and the vent plug. So we're going to reseal it up good. Brand new washers. Everything should be good. There we go. Now, shims in there pretty good. Must have been in there a while. There it comes. And I did destroy it taking it out, so I think I'm good no more. Yeah. Wouldn't be good anyway. All right. We got new oil going in, and you can see it coming, starting to run out. And there it comes. I'm going to work some of them bubbles out of it. I'm going to purge some of that old oil that was in there out through the top vent. We want to make sure we fill this thing up completely. There's quite a bit of air in there. Okay, I think that's good. Put the vent plug back in. Guess I got you off the picture here, but that spline up there looks a little dirty, so maybe I'll wheel that up, put some lubricant on it, and but that'll be it. I mean, we're sorry, people, about the camera. It's my stand broke, and I'm trying to fix it. So anyway, stay tuned. I've got another motor coming up. The boat's in the driveway, and you'll see that in the next video. So it's a 70 horsepower 1963 Evinrude 4-cylinder, a 2-stroke. So it's got a distributor, so it's very old, but I think it'll run. Stay tuned for that next video. Thanks for watching. I had this customer drop this boat off actually yesterday, and here it sits in the driveway. He's got a 75 horsepower hydroelectric shift Johnson, and boy, that's right up my alley. So I think I'm going to be able to help him out here. It's got some problems. He says this is his grandfather's boat, and it looks like a pretty darn good vintage old boat. I really love the look and the line of it. It's going to need some tender loving care, but I think he's willing to put the work into it. And so I'm going to work on this motor. I'm going to start with a compression check just to see if it's viable, and we'll do a health check and see if I know it doesn't have spark because the coil is bad in it. It's been disconnected. It's got a distributor on it, and the points are shot. So we know we've got some work to do. It probably needs a new impeller. I'm sure it does. So he's going to have me do all this work, and I'm going to put this on video. Just to see, if there's other people out there that want to know how to do a 75 horse Johnson. I think that's a 1963, I think he said, but we can find that out. We'll figure out what year it is. But you can see it's hydroelectric or electromatic, not a hydroelectric, it's electromatic shift. And it does need some cleaning, some you know. So he's going to do all this. It's even got tilt trim. So if this engine runs, or we can get it to run, I think he's going to be very happy with it. So.